So in this gospel, similar to yesterday's gospel, Jesus really means business. Admiral William McRaven in 2014 gave a commencement address at the University of Texas. He was a Navy SEAL back 30 years earlier, and he said, well, I'd like to share just the essence of his incredible address. And why? Because it reflects the kind of rigor and seriousness needed to be a disciple of Christ. If Navy SEALs can do it, so can we. So finally, in the end, I will also offer a short story about a woman who changed a monster into her beloved. His 10 points that he gave these young people began with, if you want to change the world, start by making your bed. And then he went on to say, if you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. These are all things that the Navy SEALs do. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not the size of their flippers. If you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and keep moving forward, even after defeats. And if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of circuses. The circuses, he means when you're not measuring up in a given day as a Navy SEAL, they give you 2 extra hours of calisthenics and workouts, and you have to keep doing that until you get strong enough that you can measure up. So if you want to change the world, sometimes you have to slide down the obstacle head first. They're going over an obstacle, and if you climb down and then go down the rope on the other side, taking all your time, it's very hard to measure up. So sometimes you have to climb over and then just dive down. And he talks about if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks, from bullies. He said a shark in the area where they train outside of San Diego, there are a lot of sharks, and they tell them, if you see a shark coming near you, don't run, don't swim away, because they'll know you're afraid. Stand your ground. And if he comes right up to you, punch him in the snout, and he will run away. If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moments of your life. And if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. One of the worst day of their training is being up to your neck in mud, cold and difficult to breathe, and it's the great temptation. They're always trying during this training of Navy SEALs to get them to go and ring the bell. The bell is in the middle of the compound, and if you want to quit, just go and ring the bell, and it's all over. You can go back. You don't have to get up at 5 a.m. anymore. You don't have to do all these crazy calisthenics and swim in the cold and all that. So, if you, his final point is that if you want to change the world, don't ever, ever, ever ring the bell. Don't ever quit. That Navy SEAL training lasts for 6 grueling months. The training in religious life that we go through as priests and as religious is usually 9 years, maybe more. We also have an extra year called the novitiate, and that's like Navy SEAL training, only it's twice as long. And it's a period of testing and growing closer to the Lord. So for becoming a disciple of Christ, he's really asking us to be serious about that. Even if you want to go and bury your dead, a sacred duty, forget about that. That takes second place to being a disciple. Finally, you're familiar with the story of 1001 Nights, the Arabian Tales. There was a sultan who was very powerful and rich, and he wed many wives, and he killed many wives, until he met Scheherazade. When she came along, she told the sultan that first night a tale, a story, but did not give him the end of the story. So he couldn't wait, he couldn't kill her because he still wanted to know the end of the story. So she gave him the end of the story the next night, and then she started another story and didn't tell him the end of that story. This went on for 1,001 nights until finally the Sultan fell in love with her, and she was out of danger, and he was transformed into her beloved. As disciples of the Lord, this gospel might sound very strange, but at least we must be as determined and as disciplined as these Navy SEALs by far, and as clever as Scheherazade in telling the great story of the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. If every mother, every father, every family were so committed to the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, to his person, we would certainly change the world.